So Anthem is framed in an unfinished world. The gods who are creating the world, something happened to them partway through that. No one knows what happened, but they left behind these ancient relics. And the world and the landscape itself is unfinished, it's active, it's dangerous, and all the adventures and all the stories that happen within Anthem occur in that world.
I guess from that setup, the question, and this is maybe too nonsensical, but how would they know their world is unfinished? Wouldn't it just be normal for them? In that sense, could our world be unfinished and we just have no idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting question. I think a lot of this, from the setting perspective, is the storytelling that people do to explain what's happening around them. People are living in a world where these things are turning on and causing not just destruction, but actual creation. So they're interpreting that as being an indication that this is a world that was in the middle of being created. Maybe the actual purpose was something different, and this was always the intended endpoint, but humanity is actually interpreting this as exactly that, which is that, no, someone much bigger and stronger and greater than us was creating these things, and for some reason they stopped in the middle and left everything, just left their tools scattered about.
And of course, within the world, there's different factions who all have their own lore and thoughts on exactly what this means, where we came from and where the enemies come from and all that kind of stuff.
Do you feel like the Shapers are a precursor race structure within BioWare that the studio is comfortable with?
I don't see them as really a precursor race. There's a lot that we don't know as the player about the Shapers and what their intentions were and where they came from. And they weren't necessarily a precursor race, they're the creators. We don't know if they lived on the planet, we don't know if they were there, we don't know why they were there. And again, that mystery is really core to the story of Anthem.
Yeah, we don't know, but you know.
Yeah.
We've described it as a world without microchips. Your exosuit is handcrafted. It was built by a craftsman as opposed to rolling off of an assembly line. So humanity is very much has technology that in some ways is superior to ours, but that's stuff that they've kind of cobbled together and figured out from these Shaper runes, this technology that was left behind by the gods. For the most part, the human technology is actually quite a bit less advanced than ours. You don't have televisions everywhere, there's no assembly lines, it's much more basic. People live a simpler life, but then you have this powered armor, these javelins that you use to go out into the world and combat the threats out there.
So you are a freelancer. The freelancer is a group of like-minded individuals, which they're part of the reason why the world is a little less dangerous. They go on odd jobs, they help out, they do different things to kind of hold back the bay of the dangerous world. Freelancers, when the game starts, they're kind of going through some tough times, you know? The order of freelancers isn't as respected as it should be. They had a huge history, a great past, that isn't really carrying them forward anymore. So there's a little bit of that. And so you have something to prove, and then the game starts out with that. You're not a chosen one, you're a group of many. Of course, great things are happening around you, but you're not a specific person with a specific purpose. But things happen within the story of the game that kind of thrust you into a great adventure.
And the Dominion are your primary nemesis. The Dominion are a human faction to the north that are militaristic, maybe fascist, looking to dominate the humanity on the world.
It's called humanity, but they're kind of sort of not humans, but kind of sort of are.
Yeah, I mean, we're humans. They're humans. They're not Earthlings. So I think that's the distinction. Is you are human, but you aren't from Earth. There's no crashed colonization ship somewhere.
So this is alternate universe compared to our reality.
Nope, can't talk. I'm not going to answer that one.
Okay.
The mystery of what the universe is a big part of its appeal. So whether it's certainly not Earth, I'll say that. There's a lot of mystery out there that you're just waiting to dig into and pull apart and kind of discover.